Hi there. Welcome back to Arizona Lifestyles with Holly Waxman and my friends here with 72 Sold and Rebecca, my favorite trainer in Arizona. So thank you, Ryan Nelson, our favorite lender.
Welcome. Glad to be here.
Yes, Adam Dahlberg, 72 Sold.
Hello, hello.
So hello, and Rebecca Lambert.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm so happy you're here, Rebecca. So Rebecca's a trainer, and she helps promote health and keeping weight loss. So she's a colleague, friend, and someone I work with personally every week.
That's right. 3 days a week for an hour.
Every day, 3 days. So she's always in my heart. Rebecca, can you introduce yourself and tell everybody why I think the world of you?
So I'm a personal trainer. I'm also a certified athletic trainer. So anybody who's familiar with the sports world, somebody gets hurt on the football field, I'm the one that runs out there and sees what's going on. And then we do all the back end treatment, rehab, get them back to play. So I just do that in a gym now instead of on a football field. So we've been training with Holly for, well, now it's been consistently a few months, but we started training, that was 2 years ago or something when we started?
Probably.
Back when she was playing football?
Yeah, back in her football days. That's where it all started.
Right.
So most of my clients are, most of them tend to be very active, used to be athletes at some point in their life and want to just continue on that, staying active. And so I kind of help them do that as best I can and kind of work around any past nagging injuries or new injuries or surgeries or whatever it is at this point. So that's most of what I do now.
What kind of athlete do you typically train? Is it mainly football players, ex-football players?
I'm not an athlete.
And real estate agents.
Yeah, it's real estate agents. It's right now mostly soccer. I do a lot of youth academy work with academies here. So like Phoenix Rising, RSL, Arsenal, they all have academies around here that play. So I'll do coverage for their tournaments. But honestly, day-to-day clients, it's literally middle-aged, used to be athletes, to be honest. But, in the gym, staying active, a lot of them are getting into the triathletes and stuff like that nowadays. So
Yeah. Very cool.
A little bit of everything.
a lot of pickleball.
Is there a lot of injuries from pickleball?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. It's usually like a tennis elbow or just a hurt shoulder. I had an ankle sprain the other day. Actually, Achilles tendon ruptures have been a big one in pickleball that they've seen. So gotta get your prevention in there for pickleball.
Now, pickleball is like a less strenuous tennis, right? Isn't it like a volleyball tennis? I've never played it, but I know it's super popular, especially in the 55 plus.
Smaller courts, kind of like a cross between ping pong and tennis is how I see it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, all of the, I work out in the East Valley, like Mesa, Chandler, Queen Creek areas, and they have a lot of 55 plus communities out there, and they're all putting in these pickleball courts. So they're converting tennis courts into pickleball courts. Mm-hmm. I think it's the same court or whatever, but use like a wiffle ball or something.
Yeah. They built that huge Gilbert Regional Park over off of Queen Creek and Higley, and it's got a bunch of tennis courts and pickleball courts.
So did you see that here in Arizona, if you're thinking about moving here and you're a pickleball fan, they are actually doing a show, like a reality show, about pickleball. And this company had for a reality show about everything. But this company is coming through and we had a lot of vacancies and things and a lot of shutdowns and stuff, especially when COVID hit, that they're putting in these closed stores. They're like not convenience stores, but retail shops, Dillard's and whatever in malls. And they're building massive indoor pickleball courts in there. They're converting them into, the ones that the Halloween store doesn't take up. They're going to go in and they're going to make these giant indoor pickleball courts, and they're doing the crazy tournaments, and they're going to have world tournaments here in Arizona, and they're doing a reality show about it.
That's wild. Yeah.
And they're going to put bars in there. It's going to be cool. It's play pickleball. You have a bar. You have a little restaurant, and you come and just a bunch of old people hang out.
I think they just built a big facility like that. Versus downtown or something, but it's just like that huge indoor. They have a bar and stuff there. It just opened a month or two ago.
Yeah.
There's the Village Health Clubs. They are expanding and doing that as well. So it's fun. Rebecca, can you share with us? You moved here from.
Yeah, I moved here from Florida.
Okay.
I moved here, probably 8 years ago now. I grew up on the beach, small town, came here for school, ended up loving it here. I mean, I'm a warm weather person being from Florida, so I don't do well if it gets too cold. So the perfect weather throughout the year is great, other than, summer gets a little hot, but we can put up with that to get the weather we have now. So.
And you love it.
I love it. Yeah, it's like I said, great weather. It's during the winter. It doesn't get too much colder than 50 degrees around here. It's pretty nice and sunny. So it's an outdoor weather year round, which is great for pickleball or go out boating or hiking or
Right.
It's nice too, folks that move to Phoenix. The first summer is rough. I talk to clients all the time. About 22% of our homes that we sell are from out-of-state buyers. And when they get here, they're a little bit shocked as to actually how extreme the summers can get. Because they get hot. This was a hard one this summer. And it seemed like it never ended. It's starting to break now, finally.
Yeah,
oh, my gosh.
beautiful now.
The main point, though, to understand is that we are so centrally located here in Phoenix in a way where I don't think any other big city in the country is, as far as the proximity to a completely different environment. You mentioned boating. Here in Phoenix, we are an hour away from 5 lakes, that you can go take a boat. Big lakes, like not just little, ponds, big lakes that you can have boats and take those boats out. We're an hour and 20 minutes, at least from my house in Gilbert, door to door, from my front door to the cabin in Payson, which is 20, 30 degrees cooler every day. A quick drive up to Flagstaff, it takes you 2 hours and you're on a mountain with snow, where here it might be, 90 degrees. And then that being said, in a car, you're 5-6 hours away from the ocean. You can go to San Diego in 5 or 6 hours. You're 5 hours from Vegas. You're 4 or 5 hours from Rocky Point if you want to go to Mexico and go, explore the ocean down there. There's really no other place I feel that's so unique as far as weather. We're a sunshine state that doesn't have hurricanes, and we don't have problems like Texas with tornadoes and bad weather and crazy things. You're in the perfect location here in Arizona. And if you just can't stand the heat, that's the main key. The first couple of years you're here, once a month, once every 6 weeks, drive an hour and a half away. Go explore the forests up north. Go down south and go look at the wine country we have down in Heber and some of those other, or not Heber, but what's that called down there? Patagonia and some of those other areas down south. You're 2 hours away from wine country. We can go down and take the wine tours. And so there's, in my opinion, this place is just perfect. You have everything that you need here in the Phoenix Valley, where it's new, it's fresh, it's clean, it's modern. We have streets that go north and south and east and west and not all curvy. And but if you need to get out of the heat, and I recommend that you do in the summertime, get an hour and a half in your car, listen to a podcast, put on a CD, and by the time that thing's done, you're in the forest. You're in 30-degree cooler weather.
It is awesome living here.
It is.
Yeah, no question.
And most people are from other places, so communities are easy to get involved in. Be loved, feel loved, enjoy life.
I mean, you can go up to Prescott in the summertime. It's 110, 115 degrees here. You can go up to Prescott. It's 80-degree weather, 85-degree weather. And I think every weekend they have, that town square right off of Whiskey Row, where they have all the old school bars and stuff. They have that big town square that every weekend they have some kind of art festival or some kind of event going on. And, Prescott used to actually be the capital of Arizona before it was Phoenix. Did you know that?
That.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah. And they still to this day have the longest running rodeo. It only took a break 1 year during COVID, but it was the longest running rodeo in the country. So, we got a lot of, if you're a horse person, I don't even know really what a rodeo is, bulls or something, but people go up there and they spend, it's like a week-long event, and hundreds of thousands of people come and come into this little small town of Prescott, Arizona, and it's just a really cool place to be.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Fun. So what's happening in the financial world?
Well, nothing good. Nothing good at the moment. Rates are continuing to rise. The Federal Reserve said a few weeks ago they see rates staying higher for longer, and that's caused rates to continue to rise higher. So, I think we're at the highest point in 25 years right now, and it's we're getting towards the tail end of it. Jobs report came out today or yesterday, and it showed less jobs created, which is good. It shows the economy starting to slow down. So we're starting to see some positive fronts on the inflation numbers, and hopefully we see more continued good news over the next few weeks as we get more economic data that comes out and, price indexes and whatnot. So it's going to be a little bit of, before a little bit of time before we see rates, get better. But, in regards to buying a home, it's a good time. I think the prices are definitely, fantastic right now. You're going to see prices increase as rates start to come down. More buyers can afford to buy and enter the marketplace. So, it's just it's a little painful at the moment with rates being in the sevens. Haven't seen that in a long, long time, but we'll have better days ahead.
But don't we have different buy down programs that we can do for first time home buyers?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Absolutely. And we do a lot of those. We're definitely, as a buyer, seeing a lot of seller concessions, sellers enticing buyers with helping them get a lower interest rate by subsidizing those costs and giving money towards, buyers' transactions for closing costs and fees and to buy down the rate. So that definitely helps and makes it more palatable to have a lower payment for the first couple of years while we wait for things to improve in the economy and inflation slow so we can get permanently lower rates. And those days will be coming, probably not till mid next year, just to be real with everyone, but they will come.
Right.
There's no question that consumers are feeling the pinch. Credit card debt hit $1 trillion for the first time a few months ago, and pretty soon everyone's credit cards are going to be maxed. So once
But you know what? We all need a place to live.
We do.
Rents are going up higher. You might as well buy.
We do.
If you own.
Yeah, and if you are looking to buy a home, you're not going to get a better price than where things are at right now. I just don't see that happening. So it's a good time, and there's a lot of available homes. The inventory's increased over the last 30, 45 days due to rates increasing higher. So you've got more available options to look at, and sellers want to sell. They need to sell. Everyone has life changes, and you're seeing them give money to buyers to, help get lower payments.
And it's great to contact Adam and I because we work with a lot of listings as well as buyers, and we're able to be very, very fair and reasonable, and we look to make, deals happen, and both the buyer and seller feel good about the transaction.
Yeah, Ryan, what do you think was the big economic driver for the inflation? Was it the people, when money was free, refinancing their house or selling their home and making these huge profits and dumping that back into the economy? What spiked that inflation where all of a sudden now we have to put our foot on the head of the person drowning?
Well, it was a culmination of things. COVID had a huge impact on that. And there was, a lot of money that was out in the marketplace. I mean, the definition of inflation is too many dollars chasing too few goods. And, during COVID time, there was a lot of money put into the economy with stimulus this, stimulus that, and people spent a lot of money, and they continue to spend afterwards. And you see a lot of people have made an enormous amount of money over the last few years with the gains in real estate. If anyone's selling a home that bought a home 5 years ago has a substantial chunk of money, and people are spending that money, and they're spending it, and it's caused prices to go up. So, COVID was the big propeller behind it. Now that, we've seen rates increase, and the Federal Reserve's job is to try to slow down that pace of increase. And they've done that through monetary policy by increasing interest rates. And the increasing of rates it's highly correlated with the mortgage market. It's not exactly that, linear. When the Federal Reserve increases the Fed funds rate, the banks borrow money from the Fed. Doesn't mean that mortgage rates are going to go up exactly in tandem with that, but in general, they are going to rise and fall based upon what the Federal Reserve is doing. And that's what's happened over the last couple of years. The Federal Reserve is trying to slow down inflation by making the cost to borrow more expensive. And that's the mission, to take away money out of the economy and get consumers to spend less. And if they spend less, the hope and goal is that prices will come down. And I saw a stat a few months ago that 2 years ago, only 6% of people had an auto loan payment of over $1,000. That was 2 years ago. Today, it's 17%.
Wow.
So if you think about that, that's a lot more money being allocated towards your auto payment than money you have to go and spend on goods and services. And if there's too many dollars chasing too few goods, prices are going to go up. And when there's not enough dollars chasing those goods, you're going to see businesses and prices come down. And I personally don't think we're going to see prices come down anywhere close to the levels that we saw over the last few years. Think about, a cheeseburger, okay? At McDonald's used to be $2.99 5 years ago. It's $7 now, right? $6.99, whatever it is. You're not going to see that go back down to $3. It may go down from $7 to $6, but I think we've reached this point where costs of goods and services have gone up. Hopefully they'll marginally come down a little bit. And what the Federal Reserve is trying to do is see less dramatic increases in prices going forward. Their target goal is they want to see a 2% inflation number. We've been substantially above that, over the last few years with all the stimulus and money put into the economy. It was as high as 9% year over year about a year ago. And we're seeing that number now slow. And I don't think prices are going to come down a whole lot. I think we're at this new norm that things cost what they cost. The goal of the Fed is to see that future increases are at a lot slower pace than they've been, and they are around that 2% number. And if we can get below that, then you're talking about recessionary numbers, and it would definitely slow things down, and it would get the Fed to probably start lowering rates again. That's probably not going to happen realistically for at least 12 to 18 months. But the market moves and rates move based upon what the forecast is. And it's all about these big economic numbers that come out that give the pulse of the economy. And that's what they measure things on. And their rhetoric and things that they say and how they forecast, what's happening in the economy is really the big driver of what is going on with rates.
Yeah. And I think it's important to understand, too, that the Federal Reserve operates pretty independently from whatever's going on in the political offices. So I hear a lot of times people, I'm going to wait until the election to see what happens, and see who gets elected. And people have all these theories. If this person gets in office, things are going to change. And if this person gets in office, it's going to stay the same, whatever. The Federal Reserve really doesn't care. It doesn't interact on a political level the way people think that it does. Regardless of who's sitting in office as far as president or vice president, I don't think they really have a dramatic effect on what the Federal Reserve does, which is a private bank in and of itself. It's not even a government. Either way, it's going to do what it's going to do for the economy. So the rates and all of that stuff that are just through the roof right now, gas prices through the roof right now, everything is super expensive. It's going to have a dramatic impact on our society. It already is having a dramatic impact on what people can afford and affordability. And it's a weird time out there right now. The good news is, like Ryan said, that home prices are starting to come down. Buyers have a big negotiation foot to stand on as far as, with either pricing or concessions and that type of thing. But you're not married to your rate. So you can never change the price that you bought your home for. But as things change and come down as far as rates, you can always refinance. You can always, lower that as those rates come down. But, as rates come down, the desirability for the homes go up, and that supply and demand is what's going to increase the value of homes to a seller. Right now, a buyer has the advantage. And so go out, find a home, bite down on that rate if you can, negotiate with a great agent to get you like a buy down. Are you still doing 3-2s or just 2-1s?
Yeah, it's all about how much money you can get from the seller and how you negotiate that. So we see it all the time. I mean, like Adam says, if you're waiting to buy a home, most likely you're going to pay a higher price for that home down the road. Yeah. Now, you can wait for rates to come down and buy that home, but you're probably going to pay a higher price. Your better strategy is to get into the home now, own it, and as prices come down, or not prices, but as rates start to come down, then you can always refinance that loan into a lower interest rate and save money.
Yep. And there's more houses coming on the market. There wasn't a
Absolutely.
lot out there, a few months ago. 6 months ago, it was tough to find a house. It was really hard because we have interest rate lock. We have people that are stuck in these great rates. Why sell now? And what am I going to move to? What am I going to buy? But we're starting to see that come up now. I think we're at 14,000 or something, just over 14,000 homes on the market, which is not a lot. We should be at like 30, but it's not the 8. It was 7, 8 that it was a few months ago in a town of 4.5 million people. I think that's how many we have here in Phoenix, right? 4.5 million people and several hundred moving a day here.
Right.
Not enough homes for people to live. So, yeah, now's the time. It's
Now's
coming
the
back.
time. So,
And get something in Scottsdale so you can train over at, what is it called, 5-Star?
That's right. Train out of 5-Star Fitness.
5-Star Fitness.
That's right.
Isn't that where you train, Ryan? Where do you train?
No, I don't train. But
Six-Pack Fitness.
I
You
need to
train
think
at
about it.
Six-Pack Fitness
Gives me something
with me.
to think about.
So just wrapping up, Rebecca, we want to thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. And if people want to reach you, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can check out my website. It's bodyworkatc.com or our Instagram page. It's bodyworkaz. There's easy ways to check us out, see what we do. If you got any injuries, have questions, the one to reach out to.
And now,
So is it more rehab, like training?
Yeah, right now my schedule is probably 50-50, but I try to emphasize the rehab part more. So it's a lot of mostly manual therapy. So I try to do stuff that you can go and do on your own at home.
Mm-hmm.
Massage, cupping, scraping, dry needling, all that good stuff.
So what's dry needling good for?
Dry needling? It's kind of like acupuncture. It's like the Western medicine version of that, but it works really well with like tendonitis, tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, those sort of things, or just overall tension. So it works really well with like back pain and back tension or shoulder pain.
How do you get people that are afraid of needles?
Usually don't get those ones. That's what cupping's for.
Yeah, right. You
And
ever
I
done
love-
cupping?
No.
No?
I've never done it either.
No?
What I love about working with Rebecca is that, like Adam and I, we look at everybody as an individual, and I feel that, she's caring and looks at, like with me, she put together this app to do weight loss, and I really appreciate working with you. And last but not least, while we're wrapping up, if you could share with us one of your greatest experiences of living in Arizona or living the lifestyle and working with some of your clients.
Oh gosh, it's tough to pick just one, but I think one of the things that really stood out to me when I moved here, obviously I work in the gym, so I'm active. I like being outside, and so Arizona is a very active community. Hiking, every time you go outside, there's, even during the summer when it's 100 degrees, people are riding their bikes, they're running, hiking, swimming. I mean, there's just so many things that you can do out here, and it helps kind of build like a sense of community as well. And that was one of the things I really loved when I moved out here, for sure.
Yeah.
Great.
The gym lifestyle is it's a family. The gym that I go to, these people, it's the same people every day. They're on their work program or their workout program because of the time frame. They drop the kids off from school and then they go to the gym and then they go to work and they do so you become friends with these people.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And if anybody out there who hasn't experienced that and wants to make a change, a positive change in their life, join a gym and go at the same time, especially the group fitness classes. That's real. I did Orange Theory for a while, maybe 2 years. I switched over. I did a thing called Burn Boot Camp thing, group fitness or whatever. My wife was going there. It's more female oriented, but it was fun. There was a couple dudes in there, but you get to know these folks. And then the gym I work out now, it's the same people every morning. You're in there and you create these good friendships, and you don't need to go to the bar. You don't need to join these fraternities, like the Elks Lodge or the Moose Lodge, which those are fun too. But do something positive. Go to the gym, hang out, get to know the folks that are going through there. Maybe join a group class. Do something positive for yourself. Here's the one thing I know about going to the gym. Okay, you never regret getting up early in the morning and going to the gym.
That's true.
You only regret getting up early and not going. You'll never feel bad about yourself for getting up and actually going and working out. Mm-hmm. But if you get in that consistent routine and you start to slack off, you're going to start to hate yourself a little bit. So just get in that routine, go 3-4 times, 5 days a week.
Love anyone else.
Yeah, whatever's good for you, take a break. And it floods over into the rest of your life. You start going to the gym, you start working out, all of a sudden you want to just start eating healthier. You want to start making positive changes. You want to stop smoking or drinking or doing whatever you're doing that's negative, because you're seeing the results of doing good things for your body. And who knows, you might even live a little longer and have a better, healthier, older life. You're not like my dad in the 74 years old with a walker, hard to get off the couch. Like, you're going to be 74 and swim laps. That's the goal, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for being here, and we'll talk to you next week, and bye for now.